just 3 days shy of his 95th birthday. Many of you were at his memorial service, which of course was solemn. But what Rocky would want all of you to do this evening is to experience happiness, mingle, meet new friends, and greet those who you already know. Give lots of hugs, please. So while there isn't a printed program, I just want to give you a little heads up about the lineup. So, for lack of a better word. So please enjoy the appetizers, libations, and take a peek at the menu, which you've already done. Thank you. You ordered your dinner. And when you have a chance, if you want to, there's a memory card for you. If you'd like to jot down a few notes, and there's a white basket somewhere behind that TV that you can drop them in on your way out. Midway through dinner, we have a very special 40-minute video produced by these two wonderful men here from Fotility. Did I say that right, I hope?
You did.
Jerry Rojas, Santiago, Charles. They're amazing. They made this video. And I have to give credit to Thomas for kind of being the one that did the one for the memorial service on like a minute's notice. So but they've taken it to the next level, and I'm sure I drove you crazy with all my requests. So yes, there's some tissue behind the TV. You may want to grab one before it's shown, because it's going to cause you probably to laugh and maybe cry, but that's okay. And if you didn't have an opportunity at the memorial service to make some remarks, just know I wasn't the one in charge of the music. That was Father Earl. If Rocky were there, I will tell you, Rocky would have gone up and said, cut! So we didn't quite have the opportunity there for everyone to say, and there's no pressure. If you want to speak after the video shown, please feel free. If not, it's totally understandable. And then we'll have some dessert. And if you don't mind, we're going to sing happy birthday to Rocky. He would love that. And he's here in spirit, I know. And then there's a very brief, following that, a very brief video about a very special honor that I'm going to accept on his behalf from his high school alma mater, Eastside High School in Newark, New Jersey, on June 23rd. I don't want to spoil that surprise. But please, before you leave, can you please see me for a little parting gift from the two of us? And last but certainly not least, I would like to thank several people who have made this celebration possible. Kirsten and her wonderful team from Barbarella's. I know they'll be in and out of here. They've been so pleasant, so professional, and so patient. Jerry Rojas and his Fotility team, Charles, Santiago, for sharing your wonderful videography talents. They were here for Rocky's 90th surprise across the street, and I can't say enough. If anyone needs a videographer or photographer, they're your company. Trust me, they're exceptional. Karen Marshall for letting us invade her she shack, she shed, excuse me, to borrow her 65-inch TV, and her husband Doug for putting up with us while we were over there. Matt and Thomas checking out the technology beforehand and maybe having a little glass of wine or two in the process.
So much fun.
Rocky's niece, Sandy Brinkman, and her lovely husband, Dave, for traveling from Indiana and enduring, 2 hours in LA traffic just to come down, or coast of 3 hours coming down from Orange County yesterday to honor him and being such a wonderful reminder of how beautiful Rocky's family is. My stepfather, Tom Schaff, who isn't here, but he was here before, during, and after Rocky's passing, but he traveled from Oregon to support me. And he also generously took care of the wine, the libations that you're enjoying here today. Rocky always called him Tommy instead of Tom. He called my mom Betty Boop, even though her name was Joanne, but that's a whole other story for another day. Matt Fuller and Thomas DeJohn for their tireless efforts to make all of the technology, logistics work, helping me transport everything to and from here, this beautiful venue. Rocky would give you both a big pat on the back and say, thanks, boys. That's how we call them, the boys. And a separate shout out to Matt for coordinating the special honor at Rocky's high school alma mater. That was because of him. And of course, to each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart, friends, family, neighbors, baby bears. Some couldn't be here today. Honorary baby bears. every one of you and every combination thereof, please enjoy this evening as you know Rocky would want. Thank you. Thank you.
My husband's Doug. He had to leave. Anyway, this is, we wanted to say that Doug and I are rockaholics. So, and this is my husband speaking now. I had always heard Doug mention Rocky. He told me they had a lot in common, and it had to do with the love for dogs. I met Rocky several times. I never met Sandy. When I finally met her, my jaw became wide, and my eyes popped open, and I said, "Is that your wife?" And he said, "Yes." I said, so then it was the Ken and Barbie show. It was just, they were so cute together, just perfect. So as years have gone by, because we think we've been 23 years neighbors, and we didn't really do a lot of socializing. I met Freya, who's their neighbor, and Tess, and I was so excited that we got to spend time with Rocky and Sandy. And let's see, when we get to page 2, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I get nervous. That's 1, that's 2. So anyhow, okay. This is the part that I was telling Sandy that I found so funny, is that they used to play yachts. And I thought, how sweet is that? I mean, I can't even get my husband to play Go Fish. And every time you talk to her, they be playing Yahtzee, and I don't have to read all of this, but I just remember fond memories that finally, because of Freya, that we started spending like 4th of July together. We had Rocky's birthday at my house one year, and it was just so wonderful. It was like magical, and it was so special the way that Rocky made us feel, and he always had a smile on his face. He was, I want to say infectious, but more contagious, and it's like wherever he walked, he left this behind him, kindness, and he was loving, and just, so I'm not good, like I said, in public speaking, but, and then I just wanted to say, at Sandy and Rocky's house, when we shared the last Christmas Eve, I think it was the first time ever, when you gave us those great gifts, there were pictures on the wall of Rocky's family. I mean, I don't know what year they were taken, but it was just so interesting to hear all the stories that he had to tell about growing up and his family, and the Guy Hill Cadillac. Now we figured out where we got that from. But it was just a wonderful night, and hearing him just talking about the memories that he had as a child and growing up, and how wonderful his family was. And so that was like really, really special, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, Sandy, for having us be with Rocky.
Love you. He loves you too. Yeah. Hi, sweetheart.
It sounds weird just to call him Uncle at my age, but growing up in New Jersey, he was Uncle Rocky, and because he lived in California, so far from New Jersey, it was like, Uncle Rocky, everybody's like, and whenever he would come into town, my mom, his oldest, she was the oldest of the six. It was our house was the barbecue house. Our house was the party house. You know, there's always one house in the family. Everybody comes, and my mom cooks for like a
They
week.
took it the wrong way.
That's okay. So anyway,
They turned it the wrong way.
anyway, my mom would cook up a storm, and Rocky's coming. So everybody comes, and it was phenomenal. And then as the years went on, and I moved away and to Ohio and to college, met Dave, stayed in the Midwest, and then started to have our own family. And then when we had four boys young, and we took my mom and the 4 boys, and we all flew to California. My youngest was just like 1, and we all stayed in the guest house. Now I'm thinking, we must have been the biggest number of people to stay in that guest house, a family of 6, but they were tiny. So we just loved it, and my youngest couldn't say Rocky. She called him Rocky all week, and he did. And then again, we got to know him as an adult, and then Dave and I, we lived overseas a long time, and then when we came back, a few years ago, 2019 was it? Or 19? We took our 3 oldest grandkids here, and 3 oldest boys, and they had the time of their life, because they were, teenagers, and Sandy and Rocky, and I guess Thomas helped set up a Midway tour, and it was like amazing. They were just all wishing they could be here, and they could, and so everybody from New Jersey sends their regards and their love, and they all wish they could be here, but some will be with Sandy when she goes to the high school special thing there. And so from the Nobile side of the family, he's the last of that side. There's nobody else left of my mom's siblings. So anyway, we still have Sandy as part of our family. It was wonderful meeting all of you.
Aloha, everybody. Aloha, I'm from Hawaii. It's so good to be here. Sandy, thank you so much for this. I want to share my memory of Rocky and Sandy, but especially Rocky. So I have had the privilege of training Rocky, especially when COVID started. Everyone was at home. He stopped at La Jolla Club. So he was open for me to help train him. So I was his personal trainer. And Rocky always looked forward to his Friday workouts. Sandy can attest. He liked to spritz on his cologne, shave his face, get cleaned up. But that's exciting. Everyone has something to look forward to, right? So we got to I am so grateful I got to spend the latter years knowing Rocky, hearing his heart, hearing his many stories, and seeing his pictures here of his life stories he used to share to me is very dear. I will always know him for his just being so laughing, always smiling, and it makes me want to live a long life too by just laughing and smiling, But we had great workouts. We worked on some functional fitness, sitting in the chair. So at the beginning of our sessions, he used to just plop on the chair, right? But at the end of the sessions, he would come in and say, "Look, Steph."
Yep. He taught him how to sit properly.
And we used to love shadow boxing, and he loved always telling me his stories of making all city for 3 sports.
Football, basketball, baseball.
Yes, and then going into the military, right? But he loved sharing his stories, and I loved every Fridays because I got to look forward to hearing from him, hearing his story, hearing his enriching life. So that is my just fond memories, and I'm so grateful I get to continue to be with Sandy and live on his legacy. So that's my memories, wonderful memories of Rocky.